The transport ship Veiled shuddered as it broke through the toxic atmosphere of designation K7739, a planet that had earned the nickname Hell's Anteroom among the Galactic Survey Corps. Inside the cramped cargo bay, Jasmine checked her environmental suit's seals for the third time while her Vrexian crewmates huddled near the exit ramp, their Catonus frames trembling despite the ship's climate control. Atmospheric toxicity at 97%, announced his translator struggling to mask the fear in his clicking mandibles. Surface temperature, 340 degrees standard. Seismic activity detected across all continents. Predatory life signs everywhere. Kevin, the human xenobiologist, looked up from his datapad and grinned. So, pretty much like Arizona in July, the joke landed flat. None of the alien crew members had ever visited her, and after 3 months traveling with Kevin, they'd learned that human humor often emerged at the most inappropriate times. The ship touched down on a plateau of obsidian-like rock that seemed to pulse with inner heat. Through the viewports, Jasmine could see towering fungi forests that spewed bioluminescent spores into the blood-red sky. Massive creatures each the size of a cargo hauler prowled between the twisted growths, their armored hides reflecting the planet's twin suns. "We shouldn't be here," whispered Mira, the Selthian navigator, her 6 eyes wide with terror. This world rejected the ancients themselves. The ruins we're searching for, they're probably empty because everyone died. "That's exactly why we need to check," Kevin said, adjusting his pack. He looked at Jasmine. "You ready?" Jasmine nodded, double-checking her pulse rifle. As the team's security specialist and Kevin's longtime friend, she'd learned to trust his instincts, even when they seemed insane by galactic standards. Humans, she'd discovered, had a different relationship with danger than most species. The ramp descended with a hydraulic hiss. A wave of sulfurous heat rolled into the ship, and several crew members staggered backward. The atmosphere was technically breathable with filters, but it felt like inhaling molten sandpaper. Kevin was the first down the ramp. He took 3 steps onto the nightmare planet's surface, looked around at the hellscape of carnivorous plants, acid pools, and roaming megafauna, then turned back to Captain Zareth. "So, where do you want to set up base camp?" The question hung in the superheated air like a physical thing. Captain Zareth's mandibles worked soundlessly. Myra made a choking sound. Even Jasmine felt a smile tug at her lips behind her helmet. "Base camp," Zareth finally managed. "Kevin, this world is classified as Extinction Grade 7. Nothing establishes camps here. We scan from orbit. Maybe send drones." "Already lost 3 drones to those flying things," Kevin interrupted, pointing at massive bat-like creatures circling overhead. "And the electromagnetic interference from the fungal spores is scrambling our orbital sensors. If we want to find the ancient ruins and whatever tech they left behind, we need boots on the ground." He paused. "Well, boots and whatever you all have." A tremor shook the plateau. In the distance, something that looked like a mountain began to move. "That's a living creature," Jasmine said calmly, magnifying the image on her visor. "Approximately 2 kilometers tall. Herbivore, probably. Based on the mouth structure, probably." Myra squeaked. "Yeah, probably," Kevin confirmed. "Which means it won't bother us unless we bother it. Look, I know this planet seems bad. Captain Zareth's translator crackled with static that Jasmine recognized as hysterical laughter. "But Earth has taught us a few things about surviving hostile environments," Kevin continued. "Jasmine and I have camped in the Amazon rainforest, the Australian outback, and the Siberian tundra. Compared to those places, this is just Specia." Jasmine stepped beside him, scanning the perimeter. "There's a cave formation 300 meters northeast. Elevated position, single entrance, good sightlines. We can set up there." "You're serious," Zareth said. "You humans are actually planning to spend the night on this planet." "Nights," Kevin corrected. "Plural. The ancient site is a week's trek from here through that fungal forest. The ship can't navigate those terrain features, and we've already established that aerial drones don't work. So yes, we're camping." Over the next hour, the crew watched in amazement as Kevin and Jasmine transformed the cave into a fortified position. They deployed thermal regulators to manage the temperature, set up motion sensors around the perimeter, and even started a small fire using local combustible materials. "The fire attracts predators," warned Grix, the Tholian weapons specialist, from the safety of the ship. "Fire also scares them," Jasmine replied, roasting something that looked disturbingly like a giant scorpion over the flames. She'd caught it trying to enter the cave. "On Earth, humans have used fire for protection for hundreds of thousands of years. It's pretty universal." As night fell, if the transition from red sky to purple sky could be called night, the planet somehow became more terrifying. Howls and screams echoed across the landscape. The ground trembled with the passage of massive creatures. Bioluminescent predators emerged from the fungal forests, their hungry eyes reflecting the firelight. Inside the cave, Kevin and Jasmine sat calmly, taking turns on watch while reviewing the route they'd plotted for the next day. "Captain," Zareth's voice crackled over the cum, "I still think this is madness." "Probably," Kevin agreed cheerfully. "But here's the thing about humans, Captain. We evolved on a death. Earth has more ways to kill you than most species encounter in their entire galactic history. Venomous creatures, extreme weather, diseases, predators, natural disasters. We grew up with all of it. And we didn't just survive, Jasmine added. Watching a massive centipede thing slither past their cave entrance without entering, we thrived. We turned our death world into a garden. Every other species sees Hell's Anteroom as a nightmare. We see it as challenging camping. Besides, Kevin said, his grin audible over the cum, the ancient ruins are supposed to contain technology that could revolutionize galactic medicine. That's worth a little camping trip through a hostile environment. 3 weeks later, the Veilthus departed. K7739 with a cargo hold full of ancient artifacts and medical data that would indeed change galactic history. Captain Zreth filed a report recommending that all future high-risk survey missions include at least one human crew member. In the report's final notes, he wrote, "While most species asked, can we survive here? Humans ask, where should we set up camp? This fundamental difference in perspective makes them invaluable for missions to hostile environments. Also, human camping is apparently considered recreational on their homeworld. Further psychological study recommended." Jasmine read the report later and laughed. Kevin just shrugged and started planning their next shore leave. He'd heard about a nice volcanic moon in the Kepler system that everyone said was uninhabitable. Perfect camping weather.